perfect timing because apparently that wasn't on loop. I'm gonna turn it down lower though. He's one bad mother. Shut your mouth. We're just talking about Tyler. Hey guys, welcome. I'm a little burned out. I'm a little tired. New videos out. Oh, that's just too intense. It's just too. I feel like I'm about to go slap the shit out of somebody when I listen to that song. It's a good one, right? You know how long it took me to make that song? For almost all of the rest of it, all of the parts, 2 hours. All that fucking funk, that fucking wah pedal shit took me 6 hours to get right. I had to take pauses. I think I almost threw out my fucking shoulder trying to get the rhythm down on that because the 16th notes or 18th notes about killed my ass. Tyler Bell from the video, yeah, the very one and the very same. I like that it's always going to be like a slow amount of people because everyone's actually just still watching the video right now. But make sure you go share the video, get it out there, pass it around. It took me forever. That should have been out, dude, Jesus Christ, a month ago. My intention originally was to have it out before the end of January. But, you know, we started, I've given this excuse 10,000 times. We had the guys start working here, and I got sick as shit. Like 2 or 3 times. I had to fucking lay down for like half the week. Go to sleep. Oh, man. Banger video, banger songs probably freaked me out. Yeah, I don't think it's a very good... There's no good news in that video. I will take questions, I suppose. I don't have the question and answer thing up. It sucks anyway, so I'll just talk to you guys as you go. Because I'd rather respond to folks as they're coming in and out. I got my dudes one room over. They're throwing in a backsplash in my kitchen, so they're over there. They're having a nice like little peaceful day, listening to fucking music, putting up tile. I am jealous. Is the video age restricted? I can't hype it. It should not be. I have no restrictions. It's probably because it just finished premiering. So it's just over. Details. I don't know why that would be the case. You should be able to hype it though, unless something's changed with my channel. Actually, I think the same thing happened last time, and it just takes a bit. I think it actually takes a second for it to be out before it can be hyped. Let's see. Why so many political ads? Social media sucks because everybody's on social media for political reasons these days. So we also have midterms coming up. What are we talking about, Hutch? Talking about Hutch? Practice. This ain't the game. This is what I live my life for. We're talking about Hutch. Talking about practice. Super chat, $2. That was a good video. Enjoyed it immensely. Thank you very much, Carpin. Shared the video in a right-wing echo chamber for schizophrenics. I believe I did my duty. Well, they're probably just gonna like it. I mean, I have to tell you. The video is like it's a no cope explanation of why Donald Trump's strategy is effective. That's the thing. It sucks. It sucks that it is, but I don't think when it happened, people were cope posting like crazy, and that's the issue. Is, you know, I think this like Evan Loves Warf or whatever has got to be one of the worst accounts. I feel like I just saw him yesterday, but I know he did it too. Oh yeah, because he was talking about like the army pilot that got his leg shredded by anti-aircraft, and they're like, he's never gonna walk again. I'm like, I think the guy's gonna walk again. I think it's just a month since he took a serious injury to his leg, and he seems like he's getting along fine. I think that guy's fine. He got a Medal of Honor, you know. Oh my God. Already voted my midterm primaries based. Mine are in like 2 weeks. I got to do my research for my primary people. It's a pain in the ass. When's the Hutch edit coming? Bro, you just got... Who the fuck do you think you are? Just got 43-minute long, 103 citation deep video. You're already like, fucking, when next video? When next video? I swear to God, y'all fucking find one artist, you want to drink their entire life's work down like a fucking Slurpee in an afternoon. I do the same thing. I'm not mad. Sometimes you got to give kudos. Good video. Thank you, Matthew Bolingbrook, for 23 sub months. Got to go to some meetings. Someone keep up the I heard from Tumblr/Wikipedia that until I get back. Tammy Duckworth walked again. More. Tammy Duckworth. That name sounds familiar. I can't remember what that is. Shit's fucked and all I can do is maul. That was so successful. I mean, that's pretty much what it is. I think the issue, ultimately, and that's my one line, like, all the yapping you do doesn't beat the price of a pound of gunpowder. Because it's just the case. It's like, I don't care. It goes down to the, like, things where you talk about, like, Ben Empanada, right? Who gives a shit? Like, what does he do? You know what I mean? He can cry and whine and stuff, but, like, if somebody got a fucking... If someone in the State Department was bored and decided to send him to Guantanamo Bay, he's gone. And there's no amount of talking he's going to do for the rest of his life that's going to get anyone to do anything. I mean, his audience at best, maybe a few Americans actually. I feel like it's a bunch of play pretend. And it's all these fucking foreigners from these other countries and stuff who are just like, wow, I really wish you would stop. Like, make me. You know what I mean? Like, why are you not preparing for bad things to happen if you don't want bad things to happen? It's like, lock your doors, you know? Like, are you victim blaming or whatever the hell? Like, to a degree. I mean, I don't know what you want me to tell you. I'm not running it. You know what I'm saying? And a bunch of you guys said don't vote. Like, this is what happens. If you have for a second someone like a Hassan Piker giving you direction towards what you need to be accomplishing politically, this is going to be what you get, and worse, all the time, because it's a simultaneous abdication of both responsibility for participation and responsibility for defense, which puts you in a position where it's like, okay, so you're gonna put yourself in a place where you have no say over who uses the guns, but you're also not gonna get a gun. So you have no power and no say was the decision that you decided to make. Then at that point, there's no reason to talk to you outside of like, you're a moron, you're losing. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's the horse cannot be led to water and given drink. You have to drown the horse in a bucket and be like, I'll let you breathe when I see some of that water funnel down into your gullet. Okay, it's going in your lungs, your stomach. You better figure it out real quick. Like, drink. For the love of God, for the love of God. Oh my God, Uncle Iroh with a little, hey, those came through. Wait, what? Did they appear in chat? Oh, that's on Twitch. Damn. That's right, I'm supposed to be streaming on Twitch too. I have to reinstall Atium so that I can have everything everywhere. Tyler, did you ask Lyle, C-Space Flappin' Wangs, about how he liked the video? Yes, he said he loved it, and then he said caw. I'm so far back. Banger videos, banger songs. The best thing, if you guys ever want to make music that's like this, just practice. It's not hard. My favorite part is that stupid piano. Thank you, by the way, Dudley Short Sausage, for gifting 10 Vodgang subs. Based. A Marine with an incorrect take about stuff. Kill Mickey Mouse. Talking about references I don't understand. Do we think relitigating not real socialism is worth anything? I mean, did the workers control the USSR? Venezuela? Obviously not, but is that worth anything rhetorically? I don't think any relitigation is valuable at all, no. I think socialism, even for me, is just like a way to talk to people about like some lefty stuff. I don't think you should bring it up at all. I think it's fucking cringe. And like to just talk about stupid political stuff. You know what I mean? Like that's the issue is people get all, they've got 5 or 6 big political ideas. And then they live their life by them. This is the problem. I was talking to Hutch. It's like, hey, are you one of those people? He did a those people to me. You know what I mean? Like that, and that's kind of the point. It's like, oh, will you feel offended? Like, I'm not offended. It's just that's the end of the conversation. There's no, you're not valuable anymore. You already have proven yourself in his case to not even know fundamentals about how the situation and the systems, etc., work. But on top of that, like you just want to hurry and categorize people so that you don't have to engage with any of their ideas. So there is no actual talking to you. The point of every aspect of interaction with you as a person is going to be to essentially have to walk a tightrope of always sticking to your sense of propriety in order to approach your audience from the direction that they care about, or like you get to disregard everything that they say. And it's not like it's unique to him. That's actually the curse of online politics right now. Is just everybody wants to go, are you one of those people? It's like dumb. It really, I mean, I don't know how to say it any better. It's just like ignorance, it's bigotry, right? But it's not against like a racist or a racial like group. So you think that it's okay, but you're still just showing bigotry. You're just going like, why? If I've seen you associate, then I know everything. Which why it's you can always kind of tell because that's what they're always freaked out about. Is they're like guilt by association, because that's how they exist in their lives. They just don't want to be shown to have their guilty association with somebody else. I think they know it's bad too, but that's all it is. I mean, to stop a debate in the middle of even just to stop a bloodletting session in the middle of it and go, well, okay, so the only reason you would say this is because you're from one of these 2 groups of people. One of them is people that don't like Destiny anti-fans. And then the other way is you're belligerent online leftist. Like, I'm just anything left of center to say about the world. And then I'm also mean. Is that what it is? The belligerent is also just mean. You're either a Destiny anti-fan or you're mean. Okay. If you really think about it too, when it comes to internet politics, how big of a fucking swath that is. How like much ass covering those 2 statements do. Everybody that knows Destiny doesn't like him. Everybody does. If you are not at this point, if you are not in Destiny's community and you know about him, you hate him. You think he's disgusting. You think he's a pervert, rightfully, and a freak and gross. So you keep away from him. That's not an arguable facet of the earth. So that's just, if you know about, and you're in this politics sphere, you know who Destiny is. So he just carved out 80, 90%. Well, that's not an anti-fan. It's just people who just don't like me. Anti-fans are, no. You guys call every single person that talks shit about Destiny an anti-fan, right? If you have one person that's in your crew and you're like, hey man, I don't know if you know this, but Destiny's a pervert. Destiny should fucking check out early. Like, it's like, no, you have anti-fans in your community. This is why they also try to like prune out like everybody, other people who are friendly to them's like chats. So then you'd be like, well, I mean, this is just, you have a lot of anti-fan tendency because you want to blame people for proximity to the aesthetics of an idea before you ever even try to engage with an idea at all. And that laziness spreads out to your inability to try to understand the systems. It should be pretty damning that I can have, off the top of my head, a 2-hour conversation about civics and be almost completely correct, I'm pretty sure, about everything I said, just basic high school stuff. And you can't get almost any of the basic orbiters in the entire Destiny sphere to talk about an aspect of government deeper than whatever it was they heard from basically Destiny or on CNN that day. It's just these empty fucking talking points, just like vacant. no life experience, nothing. But then they know intrinsically to the bone of them whether or not they're being like, you know, engaging in possible out-group dynamics, and they need to fucking, oh, we got to rein this one in. my conflict sense is tingling. Conflict sense is called fear. Yo, Tom and Amakan gifted 5 subs. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Did you say he segregated you? I mean, literally. Literally. He hit the panic button and segregated me from his community. I mean, that's the other thing, too. The mealy mouth definitions and stuff, and trying to puttify the meaning of any word and soften it up so that it's like, okay, well, we can't have a discussion about what we're talking about now. Because you're talking about segregationists as in pro-segregation racists from the 1950s, 60s, 70s, and also conflating that intentionally with the much less broad concept of segregation as a concept, not even just necessarily political segregation, but now just separating things. It's like absurd. And the fact is, the matter is too, just so fucking mixing all that in with so much butthurt. You're being bad faith. Like, bro, you were the one that was screaming and having a meltdown first. You're the one that's being bad faith. As though bad faith even has a fucking value. The ending was a masterclass in the auditory. Thank you very much. Isn't guilt by association an ad hominem? No. I mean, it's a fallacy. I think guilt by association is the fallacy. It's the opposite of no true Scotsman. So I guess, yeah, technically it would be just an ad hominem anyway. Yeah. If the only thing that you have connecting them is the association. Anti-Confederacy idealizer, how rude. I mean, Jesus. Most of the comments were just complaining how mean Tyler is too. It's the same thing as the fuck. It's the exact same thing as with the loaner box deal. Wow, Tyler. You either maybe 2 or 3 people raw lying, misremembering, or just repeating false interpretations of events. A few of those people, everyone else just like, wow, you're really mean. I am. And I'm going to be meaner. I promised Weifler 1 episode at least of West Side Fairy Tales before the next video. The next one I think I might do a Hutch assassination video. How proud of I am of my union roots? Very. I love that shit. I love being from the same state as Billy Sherman. I think it's funny how he still collabs with food shops. Yes. Leave this on the internet. You're crying about a random MF being mean and hostile like they deserve to be treated politely. Dude, one of the people. We're supposed to be talking about my video, by the way. But yes, this is what drama is always. You little addicts. Drama is always such a distraction, isn't it? But it's true. It's true. One of the comments on that video was, "Wow, I wonder if Tyler treats his wife the same way that Pisco treats Hutch. If that's the case, that's not good." Like, what? Legally true. And just the thought that somebody would say that in a comment section is either they're funny as hell. That's funny. Or y'all fucking mad dumb. Dude, I look tired. I look fucking exhausted. I'm gonna have to fix these angles and that height of that light. It's casting too much shadows under my eyes. I look like shit. Deculturation did a breakdown of you and Hutch. There's not much to break down. I can check it out. We don't need to burn all of that candle today. We're going to be getting back into it. I've already been doing my research. Hutch, if you're watching this, you need to look up somebody named Noah Driver. You'll be able to find him by his name because of me. This is my plan for you. My design is going to be greater. Didn't Disco Elysium talk about this? The white right wingers getting together to bash heads while the lefties spend too much time arguing about semantics? Yes. Should be anticipating a similar operation to the one in Venezuela from China. Like China doing something like that? No. I don't think so. I don't think China. I could be wrong about this. I mean, it's not my most thing, but China just feels like a fucking paper tiger to me. They just do. If they really had the power they pretend they do, they would be stabilizing their own backyard. We think of China as being like powerful because they kind of bully Taiwan and Hong Kong to a little bit, but that's next to the ocean, which is the most important place next to them. The other side of China, their other border, is a fucking travesty. Like, China is not in a position at all where it can start shit. I never really realized that. One of the other things I was looking into is the Rohingya genocide in Myanmar. So the video I was gonna make before Venezuela and all this other stuff fucking popped off. But the other side of China is a shit show. China's entire other border is fucking mustard, dude. It is no good. And there's plenty of people over there that you could pay to go fuck with China because they don't like China personally, because they like the money, etc., etc., etc. It's in a bad state of affairs. Not like it's the worst thing ever, but if they were going to start doing regime change, Taiwan is like a point of pride type thing. And I mean, it's just an issue because it's the water next to their most important, like, it's where the ports and shit are, right? You want ports, you want islands. But as far as actually like doing military stuff, I think China's really good, like most despotic places are, of kicking the shit out of unarmed people. But America wins fights against armed people. We fight armies. We fight whole countries. Any country on earth, if America, if it was us and some other nation poised all of those boats off of our coast, these boats wouldn't have existed anymore. One American fishing vessel was struck like that, we would have probably killed 2,000 or 3,000 people like on accident. Firing back, you know what I mean? Like, in the case of Maduro, they just let it happen, and then we just came over and they're like, pop, and slapped the ever-living fuck out of him and walked. China's never done. China does not have the ability, they have not expressly shown the ability to win fights. Even when they were in fighting form, really. Post-revolution, Vietnam War era, Vietnam kicked the fuck out of China. Sorry, no thank you. Vietnam also beat America. Vietnam beat America on America's rules in a war that we didn't give a fuck about. And we have to cross the biggest ocean on Earth to get to Vietnam. China has to go to like Detroit. You know what I mean? It's right there. So I don't think that they have anywhere near the military power to do stuff the way that we do. And I mean, they could try and it might work. Who knows? I mean, go for it. But military operations like that are a risk. It is chess and it is gambling. That's kind of the main point of the thing. I think if they could do it, they would. Now, they wanted to go and take out unarmed civilian centers and shit and bully people that walk around with umbrellas. Yeah, of course, that's what you do. You got an umbrella, I got a gun, I win. Okay? But, you know, if America wants to arm your people, like, and we do proxy wars again, we go back to the Cold War with China, I don't know how that's going to work out. Maybe it's different, but I've seen Chinese troops training. I've seen their, like, we're very impressed with ourselves. We're going to release this video and scare people. And it's like, y'all look like clowns. That's bad. Maybe that's the deception, but you guys look like dog shit compared to Russia. And Russia looked like shit when I saw their videos. Russia's been proven to be a paper tiger of paper tigers. They suck. Remember when we used to talk about Russia used to be on par with America? Isn't that funny? Remember what they tried to do? Go and kidnap Zelensky? We would have done it. You understand that? We would have had him. There would have been no stopping us. We would have just been like, okay, well, blink, and gotten him. Russia, meanwhile, is destroying every good thing that they've built for the last like 20 or 30 years. Just died in them fucking fields to the point where they're running out of Russians, which is awesome because I don't think the world needs any. Get the fuck out of there. All right, let that mess get cleaned up. Tyler, he immediately went to race ethnicity when he said he wanted to segregate his son's people. That was crazy. That was a weird thing for him to do. But yeah, I just don't see China like having this like power. People are talking about Iran. Like Iran, you're gonna start World War III with who? With Russia's busy. If we want to go and take out Iran, we just will do it. You know what the hard part about doing it was in the 70s? Yes, you had the fucking Hussein family, I believe, all the way back then. Whoever the predecessor was to Saddam, the whole region was kind of, you know, a little bit more backwater-y than it is now. It's still pretty unbuilt up, but trying to hop in was different. Now that America's spread out everywhere, we could hop in to Iran from anywhere, and we let the place cook. It's the same thing with Venezuela. If you were to try to take over Venezuela the second Maduro took in power, okay, and then people would have been pissed. They were like, okay, well, you know, we don't like your dictator. Okay, we're going to take him out immediately. Well, no, you made your decision, or your lack of decisions. Now we'll let you cook. 13 years. How does 13 years of Maduro feel? And everyone goes, you saw Dulcie. That was the new person getting sworn in that video. She didn't give a fuck. No one in that room cared. There was like one delegate from China. Like, I wish he wouldn't have gotten kidnapped because I wouldn't have had to get flown on here. Stupid. That's scary as shit. Like, it was a good move on those fucking psychos' part. I don't think it should have happened. I wish it hadn't. But then, like, also, I can't argue with the people who are like, they like it. You know what I mean? I don't want to talk to the politics of it or how, like, you know, Venezuelans feel, because that's their country, and if they're in the diaspora, they're out here and they like it, and they're in the country themselves and they hate it. I don't know. I don't know where that's going to go. I think that's for them to decide. But, like, as far as from a military standpoint of, like, application of force and, like, execution of a plan, that was actually, when I've been telling you that we could do that the whole time you've ever been watching me, people said, no, it's impossible. And then we just did it. And I was like, I told you. It happened the way I said. If you probably look back far enough, I probably have told you, like, yeah, we could go and take Putin out of Moscow probably tomorrow. And like, no, you couldn't. I'm telling you, we probably could. It's actually the biggest concern would be like, are we losing track of assets or something that might be able to set off like a post-capture nuke or something out there? But like, I don't even think that's the case. I think a lot of it is liberals, especially, that have been running things for a long time. They like stuff to not change. They are really like Hutch. They don't want things to change. They don't want conflict. They don't want anything to bother. So they'll let you suffer too because of that. If you're winning, if you're feeling good about the moment at hand, then they'll go like, okay, yeah, well, you feel good. You're like, all right, yeah, I guess I don't think I really want anything to change. And if you are like, dude, this sucks, they'll go like, okay, it sucks, but things get better every year, because it's just a truism, right? Every year we build a few more buildings, we connect a few more power lines, kind of inevitably things do get better. Till, you know, maybe they don't. But like, that's the response. But the thing is like, people don't like that. And if you can do something else, you will. And all of that liberal can kicking, like I was talking about, put it so that when Donald Trump takes office, now he's like, okay, but we have this, we could do it. And they're like, yeah, but you can't. You're like, okay, but when you say I can't, do you mean I shouldn't? Or literally, I can't tell these guys to do it. And the guys are like, no, you can tell us to do it, and we want to do it. we're stoked to try. That's the coolest thing I've ever. We want to do that super bad. we're actually totally down to do that thing. He's like, okay, well, I think we're gonna go do it. I think we're gonna go do it. And then it just happens, and it worked. There's no. That's one of the biggest reasons people aren't talking about it. Is because if you're a lefty, like Hassan especially, you got nothing to say. You got nothing to say. Oh, but it says, like, dude, there wasn't a big loss of life. Like, one person very unfortunately died because the Venezuelan government put a $1.32 next to her house, her apartment. You know what I mean? And that is extremely unfortunate. But also, like, Nicolas Maduro's gone, and then nothing happened. Like, no one's mad. There was like a demonstration, and no one cares. No one is beseeching in any valuable way, like the halls of Congress. There isn't like delegates arriving in the United. Venezuela didn't send anybody to ask for him back. Do you know that? Like, I mean, maybe they did by now, and I missed it while I was putting the video together. But if you imagine if we stole any other country's head of state, if we just stole what's her name that's running Mexico right now. If we just went and just like kidnapped her, I feel like they would send some ambassadors, go like, hey, what the hell? Can we have her back? What? That's our boss. Venezuela just treated Maduro like he's dead. They just swore they didn't pretend for a second they wanted him back. Like the leadership that was under him was like, and he's in New York City. I'm like, yeah. Hey, Delcy, can we hand you a Bible real quick? She's like, yeah. What the fuck? Dude, that's the coldest thing I've ever seen. It's like, no, she's the president now, even if he came back. Do you know what I mean? And like, what would that look like? What if we let him go back? Do you think he would survive? Would he be like, would he make it? Or would it be like, oh my God, welcome back? And they're like, they all walk into a room. You hear like, pop, pop. He was so sad. He was overcome with depression from being returned after his ordeal in America. He just couldn't withstand it. Like, dude, there's probably so many, like, I've looked into his like little crew of people. They're sketchy. The thing, he's not charged with being in charge of Trinidad or Argo either. His is the Cartel Isla Soles or something like that. Which was just, that's even more stuff coming out. So that's like another one of another one of another one of another one of another one. And it's bonkers. But like there's just nothing like this has ever happened before. And it's, if we do it to Iran and it works, then everybody that complains about Iran is done. You're cooked. Like this whole thing with Venezuela took millions of dollars out of Hassan Piker's pocket. Robbed him. The whole like Cuba thing, everyone's like, what are you talking about? He's like, I've got to talk about they're being starved and stuff. And everyone's like, well, okay. Cuba vacation like any Canadian can do. Like, yeah. Okay. But it was supposed to be like, we're going to go over there. We're going to talk to them about how we hate what happened to Venezuela and yada, yada, yada. But like, can you have that conversation? What would you guys do if someone came here and stole your guy? And then like just do it on the street like, oh, I would be so sad. Like you never know. You never know what it's gonna be like. And the thing is, it's like you're poking your nose into other people's business super hard. And I mean, Donald Trump did, but like he did it relative to where the size of his abilities are, and then he left. I'm like, what the fuck? All the things that people are usually pissed about, they were already saying. They're like, America's going to be an occupation. It's Iraq 3.0. Then we're gone. So you spend like a week saying like, well, when are we going to leave? There's going to be boots on the ground. Like, bro, that fucking Iwo Jima went took, and turned right around and went to New York. It is insane. I think somebody was saying in chat, they're like, dude, my fucking stomach dropped when you said he followed the counterinsurgency manual. It's like, yeah, dude. The counterinsurgency manual exists for a number of reasons. The best one is that it's how you do it. You follow the counterinsurgency manual, it works. It just works. You can have all of it. If you just abandon Henry Kissinger racist ass bullshit and fucking like, oh, we just got to fucking carpet bomb Cambodia into fucking, space dust. An idiot. Like, goddamn. You just do the thing. Like, hey, we're not here for y'all. We're here for him specifically. Yeah, well, my people will die for me. And they go, hold on. The fat guy was talking. This fat American makes a pretty sick point. Oh, there you go. Hacker Droid. Hey, what's up, Hack? Can you explain further how Trump followed the counterinsurgency manual? Kind of perfect. Yes. So essentially, I pretty much break it down in the video, and I'm not going to go through the entirety of the counterinsurgency manual. But the biggest mistakes that people make when it comes, statecraft is two parts when it comes to realigning the control of a state with your own interests, right? So you have an enemy state or even a non-combative, non-allied state, whatever. You want them to do what you want to do. Okay? For the longest time, it was pain, diplomacy through pain. So you go and you burn crops and you kill all the people and all this sort of stuff, and you just make it a nightmare. The problem is if you're not willing to go full medieval, which even in the medieval era, it almost never worked. And that's why you have 100-year, 200-year long wars between people. Eventually, people run out of steam to fight because you can only fight for so long and murder innocent people. And then you chill. And then the people who you hurt never forget that. And then they come back after you. And if it's one or two people, okay, well, there's probably people around him that can be like, dude, just let it go. Okay, we're sorry about your dad, but like, you're going to fuck everything up for everybody. But you kill 2,000 or 3,000 people, that's going to be like, they got tens of thousands of family members spread out between them. They're going to go like, fuck these guys. And out of that number of people, you could probably get 20 to 30 good fighters. It's functional math. The longer that goes, the more those fighters keep fighting, and the more they train new fighters underneath them, and you kill a crop of them, and then you start getting what you call like a martial history of resistance or something like that against, this foreign invaders type deal. You have like the Talibs out in Taliban country in Afghanistan. And so the counterinsurgency manual teaches you that if you're going to try to realign a country's political leadership to be in your interests, the best thing and the first thing to do is never hurt anybody. Hurt nobody, break nothing, and talk as much as you can. Because just showing up with a gun in itself is an act of extreme aggression. It's more than sufficient to actually make your point known. If you don't start shooting, no one really has a reason to shoot back, right? And you can talk it out. If there's somebody whose sole existence is the one thing that gets between you and everything that you want to change, then sure, you can take that individual out, still try to break nothing and try to kill nobody. With Maduro, what America might have done back in the day, which say if it was America fucking 2003 with certain fucking hillbilly running shit, yeah, we go in, we destabilize, shock and all, destabilize the country, knock out the power, put everybody terrified, and then put boots on the ground and do a hard slog in order to get in there, take over the presidential palace, and then pull everybody back out, right? And then we hold on to it, and then we're going to like personally piecemeal run your country at our own cost of the money to ourselves to have our people sit on the ground, do posts, do police work, rebuild water and infrastructure, rebuild everything that we fucking broke on the way in. And we broke way too much shit because we broke everything that we could break in order to make sure that you couldn't use it. And then you get in there and like the 15 dickheads that ran out into the fucking middle of the woods are heroes now. They're murderous barbarians, but now they're folk heroes because they, you accidentally killed 2,000 civilians driving tanks through downtown, and you broke like a dam and you flooded a crop, and now like 50,000 people are not starving but extremely fucking hungry, and now you got to pay for food for them, and you got to fix the dam, and all of a sudden running the country becomes your issue. In this case, America did the counterinsurgency thing, which is what we should have done in Iraq, which is, I don't have a problem with the people of Venezuela. I mean, maybe there's some criminal elements. I don't know who they are. I don't have a problem with almost anybody in the government. I do not like the president. I do not like Nicolas Maduro. So let's take him out. Okay. And then just anybody that defends him. And he doesn't seem very defensible. Okay. So like, what is your entire casualty rate? Nothing on our side. 2 wounded. Whatever it is, 80 on their side. And the unfortunate, like 1 or 2 casualties, at least 1 fatality on the side of Venezuela, right? And now it's done. It's over. We're gone. So the Americans aren't staying there and looting or building a base. They're not yelling at the locals. They're not trying to fucking speak in pidgin Spanish to people and tell them like, no, 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 no. ¿Dónde está la playa? Aquí, señor. Aquí. No, la playa. Aquí. La mar, la playa. Like, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Just being fucking confused as shit. Instead, we're gone. Hey, he sucked and we didn't like him. You can't do anything about that. But trust me, he was being a cunt anyway, so fuck him. He's gone. Y'all figured that out. And we rolled. And that's what the counterinsurgency manual teaches you to do. In cases of occupation, you have to treat it differently, but I think, if I remember correctly, I could be wrong, the counterinsurgency manual is also like, do not occupy territory. If you can avoid, don't ever go live where you don't want to live and other people don't want you to live, is a great rule. Now, if you're going to go and you're going to conquer our country and be like, hey, all your people are second-class citizens now, and we run this thing, we're moving our people in to like genocide you, that's completely different. I mean, that's going to be a different chunk of a manual for monsters, for demons. But like the counterinsurgency stuff, all of it was just like, hey, let everyone know first and foremost that you're leaving and stick to that date. You had to fix something. You're here to fix things. You're here to fix things and leave. You're not here to break anything. And the few things that you can destroy, you know what I mean? It's just like you turn it into surgery. So like, what are you here for? I'm here for cancer. I kill cancer. We might have to cut into some good tissue. Hopefully that's not going to happen. But when we leave, everything's going to be better. And we're going to, and like, you know, we'll plant some trees and shit on the way out. We might send some people here afterwards that feel safer with that guy gone. And they're going to spend some money here. They're like, oh, you guys were doing sanctions. That's why we're poor. Yeah, well, the reason that the sanctions were here is gone. So why sanctions? Are you going to keep doing what he was doing? The guy that you just stole in the helicopter? No. I don't. I should say no. We're not going to do that. What the fuck is a sanction then? You know, like it's a good move. It's a good move. And the thing is if you were scared of it, are you talking about China? The western half of the country? No, the chunky chunk right here. Right there. Where they border Myanmar. Am I crazy? I could be nuts. I bailed on that and the geography there, but basically they touch, Myanmar, Thailand, Malaysia. But it's thin. It's very thin. You know what I mean? Through that region. So it's like the countries that touch all in that area, you can get through a lot. Never mind. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about that one. Oh, I'm way too far back. Canada's a big fan of using diplomatic pressure to put like a reliable China partner. China. Plus, they can play the good empire role versus the U.S.'s bad role. You can. Here from the Shad Slander, stayed for the base political takes. I've done HEMA for 12 years, and that guy sucks. I really appreciate your evaluation of gold versus oil and Venezuela's political calculus. The difference is staggering. Everything that can be taken out of Venezuela is like mineral wise is immediately valuable. It's insane. It's to the point where it's like I'm shocked that people weren't talking about it before. And it was his last ditch effort. If you didn't put together the math there, they switched to, and one of the reasons that Maduro is especially irritating is because he's a gangster. He's not really a socialist. That nationalizing stuff for the people doesn't nationalize it for the people. It nationalizes it for him. And for his cartel, which is a pain in the ass for oil companies to deal with. Oil companies, all hydrocarbon and mining, under earth harvesters, basically what you would call it, all talk to each other. They all know each other. Everybody, it's a small community. It's shocking if you ever learn about it. Like there's coal communities here and there, or like iron communities. But if you start getting into mining, especially if you get into anything with geology or minefields, oil field technology, liquid extraction and solid extraction are the two real biggest differences. And then with solid extraction, it's just soft earth, hard earth extraction, right? Those are the main differences, and you overcome them quick because the more flexible you are, you're like, I know how to put a hole in shale and not have all of the shale kill me and everyone else in the hole. And then we can get stuff out of it. And people go, very cool. I like that. You hired, you know what I mean? So the mining, under earth harvesting community is small. As far as a thing, it's a series of different, it's iron miners, it's coal mining, it's, copper, tin, strips, silver mining, gold mining, and then to a lesser extent, diamonds and etc. I don't know why I said lesser, but there's just fewer mines that do that. But those people all know each other. They talk. And at the corporate level, the further you get away from some scruff on the ground, they all know each other. They're all in business with each other. They sell each other equipment and stuff. And so they know what the hell's going on the ground. I've talked to people in oil fields for a long time when I was working in North Dakota. All the time I would talk to them. I'm like, what's going on? And they say, yeah, I'm here, but I'm gone next week. Like I'm a geologist, right? I handle compression factors at X thing, and I know how to use this fucking device to make sure that we know if there's going to be collapse or for it. I detect water pockets. It's like my whole deal. I know how to detect water pockets. Like where were you last? Like, well, I was in Dubai. I've been working in like northern parts of Syria. I've been here. I've been there, and these guys go all over the place because they're specialists, they're professionals. You're gonna be like, oh my god, you went to a conflict zone and stuff and work. The guy's like, dude, I'm a scientist. What do you do? I have a job that only gets done one or two times per year, and I'm one of the 6 people that can do it. And it doesn't happen in America and in my comfortable backyard every time. I've got to go all over the place to do the thing that I do. What do you do? I can drive a truck over the top of anything. And I'm really good at building the roads that the temporary built roads that the trucks drive on. What good is that? I can deliver equipment anywhere. I can deliver equipment anywhere. I can get it there. I can get it functional. I can keep it running. I can actually build supply lines pretty effectively. And I know how to like select from a local people. I can talk to criminals. I can talk to legit businesses, and I can make sure that a road stays operational, and I can make sure that we get a truck on it. And I'm the one that drives the truck the first run every time. Like that guy, you don't know him, but he's a gangster. He goes everywhere. He works all over the place. Not an actual criminal, but like, and that's what he does. That's the challenge of his life. And his life is an adventure. You're not going to take it away from him. They all talk. At the tippity tip top of it, it's the companies that all know those guys and run that stuff. They invest in land, they invest in equipment, and they're like, what happened, dude? I got cooked. People told me not to invest in Maduro and their dog shit oil down there, but I was doing them a favor, and then this asshole stole all of our shit. What do you mean he stole all of our shit? He stole all of our shit. All of it. Which is what happened. Maduro nationalized the oil industry, which means he just stole the oil industry shit that came in to help him after they had denationalized it a little while before. So before him in the 70s or whatever, they nationalized the oil industry, right? And so it was like a national thing. Then he like denationalized it, someone before him. And so they were letting the companies back in. I think it was specifically American Exxon and British Petroleum, but don't quote me on it. And so the entire Orinoco oil field essentially is offshore. So you've got to build big fucking offshore platforms. Some of the biggest types of offshore platforms on Earth to get down there because it goes straight down once you get off. That was part of the geographic survey thing I could have shown, but it was too much additional work where they show how the depth of the pockets are. And so you're talking 50-foot platforms. Okay, who gives a shit? 500-foot platforms. Whatever the hell. All the way down there. And when somebody comes and puts that in, dude, that's an investment. That's a lot of steel. That's hours. That's time. And they want to get that money back. Now, you can say what you want about businesses and seize all the products and stuff. It's only okay if everybody's around to benefit from it afterwards, right? You can't go, hey, I'm nationalizing this business in my country, and I'm just going to steal your shit. I mean, I guess you feel like a gangster for 2 seconds, but the thing is they know all the people that make the stuff. And so everyone else is going to go like, oh, you're the dude that steals shit? Like, yeah, I'm not giving you anything. Fuck you. So they cut Maduro and Venezuela off, rightfully get fucked. Unironically, he stole their shit. Like, what are they going to do? Oh man, well, you did it for a good reason. If I squint, I can probably see it. And he gave it back to the people, but immediately it went fucking belly up because all of global oil trade is handshake agreements. It is, a lot of it's based on trust and reliability, because people do have to sort of engage in a mild amount of price fixing in order to, like, hey, dude, can we all just stop, because we're producing too much and it's a one-time thing. So, right now we've been on a production glut for a little while, because America was getting hammered on gas prices, and America had the ability to say, I'm not going to let you hammer us on gas prices. Fuck you, OPEC. And so we went and smashed OPEC in the fucking face. Venezuela got it too on the side. And, like, why should we give a fuck? Literally, why do I care? They wanted to sell the shittiest oil on earth that they stole all the equipment to mine. Okay, well, good for them. Hope they find someone that wants to buy it. Spoiler, they didn't. Basically, China and Russia wouldn't even buy the oil from them. They would just trade them lease time for the equipment that they were helping bring in. And they couldn't get more steel. They couldn't get anything because the companies are like, we're getting pressure to not sell you stuff. And also, if you try to loan it from us, we know you're going to steal it. So we're not giving you anything because you can't be trusted. And so, like, Maduro, in one move, permanently eliminated himself from the ability to enter into the world or oil market, which is like, what were you doing? What did you think was going to happen? Like, it's crazy. It's crazy that he did that. It's nuts. It's nuts. It's like if North Dakota nationalized its oil production tomorrow, which they have a similar sized field or similar sized production and output, at least. North Dakota's at like 1.3 million barrels per day. Venezuela's at like 750,000 or something like that. Very low. And their refinement rate's going down even further because also they have the worst oil, so it's hardest to get. If they had an offshore rig that was pulling up, Texas Light Sweet, okay, yeah, you're trading that on West Texas Intermediate. Now you're actually like battling with America because you're selling stuff that comes right out. The stuff that they're selling is so thick and heavy, you got to pour dilutant down into the hole with it to melt it so that you can drink it up. It's like you have to wait for, like, imagine to drink like your milkshake, you had to like spit hot water down it in order to unfreeze it because most of it wasn't even milkshake. It was just ice. And when you pull it up, it just comes up and it's just water and bits of the hot water that you spit down it that tastes like salty tap water. You go, oh, this sucks. That's what Venezuela's oil is on the best possible day. And they just fuck themselves. Like, dude, if you were in that country and you were an economist at all, you were probably like, no way. And so immediately after that, he opened up Orinoco Mining Arc, right? And so the Orinoco Arc was supposed to be like, okay, well, everybody can come in and just literally fuck the Amazon rainforest to death. Orinoco Arc and Venezuela is like the nicest, it's the most beautiful place on earth. Those videos were from people that live there taking it. That's Angel Falls in Venezuela, which is the world's largest natural waterfall. It's the tallest up there. Like, it falls forever. It's like beautiful, destroying it. They just opened it. He nationalized it again. It's the Maduro nationalization process. And they were trying to convince mining outfits from outside of the country, like, hey, come in and do some mining. It's nationalized and we'll make it like easy and cheap for you and stuff. And all the miners looked at the people that were doing the oil, and the BP guy went. But they've been talking about it forever. Like, if you look at the U.S. State Department reports, I mean, the U.S. Geological Survey reports and stuff, they go back decades where people know about all of this stuff. Bauxite, coltan, all of that nonsense. It's filled with it, but we don't mess with it because it's also, there's a lot of like geological issues, but basically the soil isn't great for being dug up in the Amazon because it's just been there forever. So once you dig it up, you start causing like mass landslides and erosion. And water moves fast as fuck through the Amazon. It's very quick. It's all the way because it's a rainforest. So it's got a lot of rain. It's raining all the time. It's a rainforest. If you get rid of the trees, it turns into a nightmare. And then everything that's there gets just washed away. And so what they do is they just spray the fucking ground out with big fucking hoses. and they use mercury to leach out the gold, right? Because mercury and gold do this. It's ancient stuff that you're not supposed to do anymore. Big ass open pit mining. It's just cutting holes out of the fucking ground. And it's just poisoning everybody and killing everybody there. And this is Maduro. This is like the socialist hero of Venezuela. There's absolutely fucked it all. Like, it's crazy. And he knew when he did it, he didn't have the ability to send people down there and take care of it. Because this is already like, they're years after even Chavez was like, I can barely hold on to my own prisons with the people I put in my prison. It's crazy. The prison riots in Rodeo were nuts. Like Rodeo 1 and Rodeo 2, which are two different prisons, by the way. One guy was running two prisons, which if you're like, how's that? What's the math on that? It's like, yeah, it is what it sounds like. He's that like dude, that Prane was like, doing whatever the fuck he wanted to do. The Pran. And like, that was when you open up like, hey, everybody can go and dig gold out of the Amazon rainforest now. And so like, a lot of it's not even going to the people of Venezuela. I don't know if you caught the Spanish language stuff, but freaking Brazilians are going in and stealing everything. The Campañeros or whatever the hell they are. I can't remember the name. It's Campañero. But the Brazilians are coming over because the Brazilian border is there next to Guyana. And they're sneaking up and stealing all the shit too. So like, just basically like a death sentence. And now it's to the point where you basically didn't have the ability to control that area anyway. And now you have no ability to control it. And the people that are controlling it are rich as fuck. They unfathomable amounts of money coming out of there. By the way, going to, China, a lot of that's going to China. China's economy might get actually kicked in the teeth. If we pull this off as a country and shut down the ARC, which is why when I couldn't really put this in there, there's no good way to lead into it. But when Donald Trump was talking shit to the Colombian president after it happened, that was the inference is like, we know Colombia's in on the Orinoco as well. We know that you guys are over there funding Colombia with the fucking Orinoco ARC and being a bunch of shitheels. So like, we're watch yourself if you try to move in. Because he knows where the stake is. He knows he's looking right at it. You know what I mean? These State Department's reports are declassified, by the way. Anybody can look at this. People just follow streamers. They have no idea what's going on. They wait for Piers Morgan of all people to say like, a trans woman was a pilot and the plane crashed. These. You know what I mean? Fucking absolute morons. But like that's the whole thing. And I think that one of the big ways to go after China here is to start treating their proxies, which are a bunch of dictators and stuff, cutting that down. Fuck your belt and fuck your road and fuck your initiative. If we find your little dictatorships, we're going to knock out your little narco-terrorist fiefdoms that you're using to make money. We don't even give a shit that you're fucking poisoning Americans. They don't ever care about that. But we're going to go and take out those little fiefdoms, and then we're going to have that. And then you're not going to have it, and then you're going to start panicking. Oh, no, where's my rare earth minerals? I think that's the whole plan. Hutch ran. Hutch did run. Hutch sprinted. As a child, I was told no other military could beat America's. Is that true? I mean, yeah, fucking who has? You can at best resist if we don't care. That's it. But like, beat the military? No. Win some fights? Sure. Anybody can win a fight. Beat the military? Fuck no. The U.S. and Europe have been handling Russia with kid gloves, both because of the rampant Russian corruption in our institutions and because even the non-corrupt people don't want to fully alienate it. I think it's mostly because, like half of Europe doesn't want the fucking oil train to shut off. Everyone follows the rules regardless of how bad the rules are for everyone. We have rules for rule breakers. Oh my God. How hard was it to not do the Trump Tulpa voice while making the video? Not saying gold was impossible almost, but I did it. Well, in Venezuela, things haven't really changed at all. I mean, it's not supposed to happen fast. That's the point. That's counterinsurgency manual. It doesn't happen quick. The change isn't where the people on the ground will see it. They may never see it in like half of their lifetime. But the point is that it's changed diplomatically the entire way things go. I know everyone thought like the prisons were going to get broken open and all that sort of stuff, but it didn't. But now you're in the liberal conversation sphere. It's pretty much what it is. It's like it was a dictatorship. Now it's not. You don't remove the entire power thing. Bad things still happen. But if Donald Trump moves on, it hasn't even been 2 months yet. If he moves on and starts going like, hey, now that your little transition's here, we want this and this and this and this to happen. What happens then? And maybe nothing. I mean, it could go wrong. We could find out that the counterinsurgency manual wasn't all that good in that specific regard. But who knows? Do you know what I'm saying? Who knows? The Navy SEALs are going to join the operation with their own twin podcast. Tyler, I watched your new video. Great stuff. Well worth the wait. Thank you very much. Celebratory La Vaca. La Vaca. Moo. La Vaca. Moo. Batirion to call this decapitation and interventionism. I mean, somebody else call that? That's what it sounds like. Is it true Pakistan is kicking the shit out of Afghanistan? I hope that's the case. That'd be very funny. It's more southern China, I would say. Okay, that's fine. I'm thinking of it crookedly. I know where you're at though. I'd love to see a similar style educational video to this most recent one, but on Cuba from the early 90s to today. I mean, go make it then. Jesus. I only felt like I had to make this because of what happened. I had to explain the military purpose of it. I looking into this shit's next to impossible. I don't speak enough Spanish to like really get it all the time. It's a slog. I can get there, but it's a slog. Schlog. And then like looking at the documents is God, it's fucking miserable. It's so miserable. I can't imagine living in a Dakota. Holy shit. That's pretty much the reaction. It fucking sucks. I remember reading about Venezuela threatening to go to war with Guyana, which part of the southwest of the nation lines up with the mines too. Yeah, the Orinoco arc of mining follows kind of the same as the Orinoco oil fields, which are offshore largely. But that whole area is pretty oil rich, and I think it started in the 80s. I know that's when the geological survey that I read kind of came out. That's like, there's about a trillion total barrels. What you would say about 300 billion proven, right? Provable, removable. So it's like basically you can't clear out all the oil, right? So if you have this much, that much is actually what you can probably get to. And of that much is probably about what you can use. Just think of it like that. But their estimates were up to 1.6 trillion total at the very highest estimate, which is crazy to think like if that would ever even be possible. But that's like, the far end of the bell curve. But yeah. Guyana's very much smaller than Venezuela, if I remember correctly, especially militarily. And so Venezuela was kind of bullying them, but Guyana is like way easier to deal with. And I think Venezuela actually attacked a few of their boats. Don't quote me on that. Venezuela tried to have a bit of a military. I actually looked up. I think I put almost all their entire naval fact sheet up on the video. now that I remember it. So like their navy, they have a navy technically, but it's like a submarine that's a tanker from Germany from a billion years ago. One frigate, and then like 30 patrol boats. And the patrol boats are what does most of the work, and they use that to bully the shit out of Guyana. Because those offshore fields are all in a mixed area, right? And I think actually before the presidential election of I think I was reading this in 2023, maybe. I don't know. It doesn't factor into all of this as much because I didn't want to get distracted with international politics between Venezuela and Guyana. But basically, Maduro is bullying the fuck out of Guyana. That's it. I think they sunk a few of Guyana's like boat. I think Guyana's military had 2 boats or 3 boats, and I think they sunk one of them or something like that. It was a shockingly small amount of military hardware that they had. Yeah, but your gold part has a lot of right wing propaganda in it. I mean, prove it. Facts, 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 facts. I felt for a while the biggest vulnerability communist governments have is their centralization of power. Stalin, Tito, Medvedev, proof of that. Yeah, it's the when you share, somebody might take everything. It's pretty much as easy as it is to say. Isn't the Netherlands oil production partially nationalized? Maybe, probably. Nationalization is a word. Nationalization in process, when it actually happens, it looks different every time. You know what I mean? You have the ideal that you're trying to strive for. What actually ends up fucking happening when you nationalize something, and then anything that can be nationalized can be privatized, and everything that can be privatized can be nationalized. It can go in either direction. And usually you end up at some mix of the two after some fashion. It's like it's almost completely nationalized, except for these two major corporations. It's almost completely privatized, except for this like massive national oversight. You know what I mean? Regulation is to a degree an aspect of nationalization. If you don't stop sending killers, I'll send one to Moscow and I won't have to send another. God, that's so fucking cool. How much you bet one of our soldiers yelled out a line from Resident Evil 4 when they went to Venezuela? I have no idea. But yeah, when it comes to the nationalization strategy for Venezuela, what was bad is Venezuela didn't have the companies really in Venezuela. Of course, they had the Venezuelan oil company. You know what I mean? Like whatever it was, Carbones, Venezuela, whatever the fuck. But like that actually didn't have its own assets, so they didn't really like. They didn't have the shit there. Other people were bringing the shit in, including, most importantly, the expertise. A lot of oil field, which people don't get, almost all of the oil field, aside from the oil itself, is all expertise. Most of the equipment, it can be expensive. It's going to be expensive, but the cost of the equipment versus the cost of the people that know what they're doing is vastly different, right? Because you kind of just buy the oil rig like the one time, few times, and you take it apart, you put it back together again and again and again and again, or you move it, right? But that's your property. Those are productive assets, like in communism, right? But they're yours from somewhere else. So if you nationalize something, but you steal another nation's shit, you're not really nationalizing your industry. You're getting someone else to come in, and then you're stealing their tools when they come to your house. And saying because the resources are in your country, you're doing nationalization. But they're like, what? But no, but that's BPO 395. Why are you taking Rigo 395? Like, that's not, you didn't make that. The people of Philadelphia made that. That's their productive asset. Like, he's like, hold on. Nacionalismo. Okay. Oh, man. Unrelated. Is it just me, or is the stream quieter than usual? I have all the volume sliders maxed. It's pretty quiet. I'm talking low. I have people working at my house. My volume was down a little bit, but oh yeah, and LCMB is here still. I'll have some time for you next week, but be quiet. Trump wants revenge for all those CDs that Columbia kept mailing him for decades. That's very funny. I think the Russia handling is just people still working the idea that Russia is actually strong in a world player, when in reality it's been a regional power, and at most from decades ago. If in a few years the Venezuelan people realize, hey, nothing's really changed for us, that's when the civil war starts. I mean, they've had a few like little fights before. I mean, it's not like the people of Venezuela have been taking it, bent over, but like, it's just, he's fucked up about him. He was a dickhead, but with that guy gone, it kind of fucks up that power change, because Hugo Chavez was like, he worked for him, right? And so that transition kind of, it's like a line. So there's a level of authority there. But when you break that line, it's like he died. It's like I was just talking about. And then it sort of turns into like a new thing. And it also comes with the idea that like, next time they ask us for something, it's going to be crazy, you know? And these things play out over years. I mean, America's not a hero here. I want to really hammer that home. They're not the fucking hero here. They're just a act of God that happened to go in your favor. You know what I mean? Like a tsunami that wipes out 5 houses and also stops a 5,000 acre forest fire. You don't go like, damn, I hope tsunamis come every day. You go, that worked that one time and it kind of cracked. But like, what the fuck? How do we feel about this? F for the Venezuelans stuck puttering around in the Gulf doing Das Boot shit. I mean, dude. I want to talk to you directly, even if it's privately. I don't take fucking private conversations with people. It's too weird. I get it. He's not saying anything of consequence, so there's nothing to challenge. What? How is that possible? The world has changed forever. When is this guy going to talk about something that really matters? What the fuck? Oh my god. True, the expertise is why they sent Bruce Willis and his crew into space in Armageddon. Dude, that fact. The funniest part about that is the Ben Affleck behind the scenes. He's like, so I was talking to that's Max Snyder, right? Zack Snyder. That's not Snyder. That's Bay. That's Michael Bay. I was talking to Mike and I was asking him like, you know, we got all these we got these miners and we're trying to teach them how to be astronauts, but it's really hard to become an astronaut. And so I asked him like, why would they just take astronauts and teach them to become miners? And Mike looked at me and he went, shut the fuck up, Ben. True. In South America, the right creates fear on urban folk, spreading narratives of criminality and danger on rural areas. Those videos you show are that kind of videos. Okay. No response to that. I mean, you got to show me. What, if you're saying that's propaganda, I mean, hey, man. All of it is. I don't know what to tell you. I guess it's not happening. Okay. Fuck them then. Go take your camera out there and then I'll believe you. My petroleum engineer dad lost his mind during the beginning of Armageddon. Audibly, what the fuck is this shit when Willis came out with the shoddy? I always love it when people that are like big time fans of some kind of like war movies and stuff, you know, and they're like, "Oh man, this shit's great." But then they have a profession that's rare, and then they see their profession in a movie, and they get to experience what I experience every time I see somebody pick up a gun in a movie. They go, "Why is this happening?" Op Collins. No, I got people working here. I can't do Collins if it ends up getting too exciting. It's gonna sound crazy. I'm petroleum engineer dad checked out of the movie after that. His noise gate is stronger than it used to be. Is noise gate on? Am I clipping out on noise gate? Okay, there we go. No, I'm talking low because I'm nervous. No, that's not. Is that not going through? That should be going through. My noise gate definitely did not get turned up. My bass volume might have gotten turned down, so I might be getting cut off. Well, that does sound louder. That's not good. Imagine having practically infinite resources and still being broke. That's Russia. That's a sad thing to hear about. The Hutch chat was funny. You passed several punk tests and he kicked you for not being ready. I don't know what he's talking about with not being ready either. Like, So Hutch's entire career was a mistake. We'll be getting into this in the Hutch video, but I looked him up. I was like, because people were like, he used to be big. And I'm like, what are you talking about? So Hutch's whole thing, his background is he was he would record himself playing Call of Duty, Modern Warfare back in the day, right? Like in 2008 or something. And he would upload that to like YouTube at the very start. So he's like one of the first YouTubers, which means the quality control levels are low as hell. The thing is he never had it. And it's super obvious. He started at the same time as a guy named Sean Anners, right? Sean Anners. And I think they actually worked together a bunch. Whatever. I don't care. Trust me. If you're like, no, I know this history because I watched Machinima. I had a job, and I don't give a fuck about your unemployed exploits from when you were in middle school. I have no respect for these people. I don't give a fuck what they did. I was in war. In 2008. The picture of me I'm going to put in the fucking thing when I talk about this is me holding a gun in Iraq. But he has no talent. He just happened to get hired by Machinima before Machinima existed and brought on at the start. And then he got addicted to drugs and gambling. If you guys didn't know about this. So like when he says like, I've been doing this for 17 years, he actually hasn't. He quit almost immediately. The stress of it got to him and stuff. And if you look at Hutch from back in the day, you can tell he's like seriously like he's like on crack or meth or something. His eyes are hollowed out. He's completely skinny. He's got like Asmongold like protruding teeth. He's like a fucking Holocaust victim. Absolutely like insane. And so he was a fuck up. Like he sucked. That's the whole thing. Like he had fans and whatever, but there was nothing else to be a fan of at the time. He was just like some dickhead that made it. All of the people that he was in with at that time all went on to have extremely good careers, as far as I can tell. They're all pretty connected, right? People like them, they talk to them and shit. And then when you talk about it, you see even like their reunions are like, yeah, it's just like it all was in the old days. Hutch is always wrong. Everybody else is having a good time and yada, yada, yada. And so he's always been that person. That's why he's seeking out like live and learn, and he needs these guys to be nice to him. And this is the whole thing. This is the whole video that I'm going to be putting together. Is because he is not a talented person. He got a chance that deserved to go to someone else and wasted it. He squandered it on being on being a degenerate gambling drug addict, piece of shit. And he fucked it all up. He walked away early, away from like Machinima and stuff, and then went and fucking washed dishes and shit in the middle of like his quote unquote career. And then he kept coming back every once in a while because he fucking ran out of money. Most of, if you look in his back catalog, is just him trying to sell shirts. I mean, politically, his back catalog is like him selling like Hutch 2016, Hutch 2020 merch and all this stupid shit. And it's just like unfathomably pathetic. So that's the whole point of him being in with like Live and Learn and these guys. Because it's like, what's the point of this podcast? None of you are particularly talented or interesting and shit. And it's so that he can, if any of them get big, he can parasitize off of their success like he did with the rest of the Machinima people, because he knows that he doesn't have anything valuable about him. He is a worthless person. Like he just got someone else's golden ticket and got to experience what fortune is for like half a second, but he squandered it. I think he was talking about that. There's videos. By the way, the fucking funniest shit ever is him whining about Hassan doxing him. The funniest thing ever is saying Hassan doxed you, and his actual whole name has been out for over a decade because everyone knows who Sean Hutchinson was, right? Back in the early Machinima days. Sean Hutchinson from Old Men of Optic or whatever the fuck it was. They were snipers. They did snipers. The fuck? The fuck is this shit? And he fucked it all up. He fucked it all up because he's a fucking loser. He's a degenerate drug addict, fucking gambling fuck, losing tens of thousands of dollars. He said he quit and went to Vegas and started gambling in basements. And he ruined his life. The reason that he has to remind people that he's been doing this for 17 years is because it's not apparent, because he's untalented. Even now, he's living off the residuals of just being one of the luckiest people to have ever lived in 2008. When everyone else that was my age and his age was getting fucking jobs and shit, he just happened to go like, I'm going to be a fucking giant loser and upload videos to YouTube at a time when that would have been humiliating. And people with a need to make money and like maintain their life and their possibility of a career would never put shit on the internet because it's like, oh, that could fuck your life up. Anything you put on the internet's forever. That's it. So he just did the opposite and got lucky. And even though he got lucky and took advantage of that opportunity, he still fucked it all up. He fucked all of it up. Fucked all of it up. God damn. Tyler, your eyes are looking very green today. Why? Fuck you. This is not a compliment. I'm being teased. I remember Maduro saying the U.S. assassinated Chavez by undocumented him with cancer cells. Injecting him with cancer cells? Can we call Lyle and get his opinion on this? What the fuck? Bro, this attention-seeking shit from NLCMB. Boip. 100% people are going to assume you support this new foreign American forward policy. People are going to Rorschach themselves on the thing you're saying Trump was accidentally based. If it ends up helping the people of Venezuela, it is good. I don't give a fuck about socialism as a team sport. I don't care about capitalism as a team sport. I just want the best result for workers. If Venezuelans are getting fucked over by socialists, then the socialists should go. It's that simple. I don't need to think. America bad isn't a fucking policy for me. I think that's a stupid way to live. So if it ends up working, good. I think he's going to use it to try to pivot into despotism worldwide. It works this time because it's against bad people, but understand Donald Trump will use it against good people too. Eventually. Eventually it will be him using it against good people. That should be intimated, maybe if I'm not explicit about that enough, but it is what it is. I didn't talk about the Chinese general enough. But why are you guys forcing that meme? Oh, Jack Saint's here. Me as a linguistics student watching Arrival. Oh, yeah. The thing. I've never seen Arrival. People kept telling me to see it, and I've just never sat down to watch it. Every time I'm like, oh, hey, I'm going to put that. I put it on a list, and then it's gone the next time I actually turn that streaming service back on. With my knowledge, Venezuela has a plan to make life better, sorta. It's just going to require America to lift sanctions. The downside being that Trump is too manly to lift his own past sanctions. Oh, I mean, he might do it now. He's never too manly to do anything. That's not a good assessment of Trump. Trump always, well, I've changed my mind, is something he'll always do. Now that they are learning to play ball, he doesn't give a fuck. PC load letter in Office Space is an easy fix. I think just everybody's gotten it. Hutch's pinned tweet of you roasting him has passed 150k view. I keep hearing that it's like I haven't paid enough attention to it. I saw it a couple times and I got bored because like I'm just gonna challenge everybody to a fight. I don't have time for that. I've got to focus on getting this goddamn video out finally. So like he put up a clip of me, and I think that's the best he can get out of all of it, and it just doesn't even make him look good. Just everybody's killing him. And he has the whole like DGG army on his side too, right? They're like supposed to, they're in the booty on Hutch's Scooty. But like they're not sticking up for him whatsoever. It's insane. C Nanners. Sananners. Not clipping out your ambient sound, it's just more damn sounding than it was before the set shift. I can't listen to you guys about my sound. I'm talking very low though. I'm also extremely tired. Tyler, I was in middle school and I didn't even know this. Fair. Would it be the pick where you hold your gun with the M203? Yeah, that's technically not mine, by the way. You had some lore. I probably explained this when I talked about that photo before, but that's my team leader's rifle, because only team leaders have the 203 on it. So mine was normal. I was like, this isn't big enough. Give me the biggest one we got. I have to have the one with the fucking 203 on it, so it's actually got some meat. How did Destiny find him? Why is Destiny trying to mold the worm into a soldier? That's some of the research I'm going to have to do about this. I think so. Destiny's like tied in with these like progressive victory types who are, they all try to do like Littlefinger shit for better or for worse. I think a lot of them think they're like political masterminds. I think so. Hutch got sober a few years ago and his career is dead. No one cares. He's not good at the games. That's the problem. Hutch isn't a gamer, really. Like, that's what he got famous for, but he's not a fucking top tier competitive Call of Duty player by any margin. Like, he can't fucking rock and roll. Like that class of people surpassed him. Not like he's terrible or whatever. I don't know. I still got to watch his gameplay clips, but that's just like what I understand from looking back at it. He was mostly there for personality. Now, you all having seen his personality know why he got fucking kind of swept to the wayside when anyone else started using the computer. But he does have a large profile, and he is a like cracked out loser dweeb. And I think when he got sober a few years back and started coming back to YouTube, someone got in touch with him and was like, "Hey, what if you became the next Asmongold as a fucking?" I think that might be it. Like, you can talk to the youth. You used to make videos for children. Why don't you teach them about the importance of liberal values? And I think that's where he is. That was a genuine compliment. Can't be nice to no one. The difference is that Hassan showed Hutch's address on stream to tens of thousands of people. Oh, I've always heard it was about the name, but either way, it doesn't matter. That's fine. Don't take political contributions or become a political contributor. All of your information becomes public. You took money for politics. It doesn't matter. I support it. Dox every person that takes money. All of the people that take money to stump for political causes. Dox all of them. Now. That's, as a journalist, I can't be like, oh, that's terrible. Like, no, you should know if someone gets paid to come into your city and then they talk about politics to your city's people, but they're not from here, you should know where they're from. Provably. Just watch a new vid. Great work, man. Thank you very much. Thank you. Maduro is Everard from Disco Elysium. Everard just seemed like so competent comparatively. Like, Everard is unironically aspirational communism because there's something that it feels like he achieved at all. Also, he might not remember his sanctions. He called the previous trade deal with Canada horrible, made by stupid people. He's the one who signed it. It doesn't matter. He'll call his own thing. He'll say it's just due to Trump, and then I'll just move on. He doesn't give a shit. That's kind of like his superpower. People keep calling it out. And they're like, "Wow, he's really dumb, and he doesn't seem to care." And it's like, do you notice that that's how he keeps winning? You never connect it to like, wow, he's going to do something really stupid here. Only a really stupid thing, if he did it right now, would be successful. It's like, okay, so you should be hunkering. You should be hunkering at this moment. Appreciated the Rizton video. Thank you for the $5, man. And Trump changed his mind pretty quick on Mamdani. Yeah, he's flexible. All they have to do is tell Trump that Obama made those sanctions and offer some sort of esoteric bribe. Boom, sanctions ended. I mean, pretty much, yeah. Mr. Sark was in that gaming crew too. Yes. Mamdani operates on socialism as a team sport well, too. Strategy matters, and we aren't going to build a coalition by canceling each other out. No, I mean, and that's the only thing you're going to get. You either have to have somebody who's going to strong man, and then you just have to deal with the fact that, like, the guy that builds your thing is a dictator. Hey, I'm going to share with you guys. Okay? Forever? Yeah, forever and ever. All the time. Until the end of the universe, I'm going to share with you guys. You either get that, or somebody that's actually going to start from the ground to do the hardest thing that there is to do, which is, I mean, that really is, if you know what, Mamdani's skill is what you can't tell anyone to do. He smiles and takes it. and then just keeps working. That's like his actual skill. It's not the charisma. Those are all basic attributes. His skill is Mamdani can smile and take it, which no one else can do. No one else can put their pride away for 2 fucking seconds on this earth and just go like, hey man, you're a piece of shit. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that. Like, walk on. I gotta go meet Donald Trump, said all those things about you. You gotta go talk to him, okay? I'm gonna go in there, but I'm not gonna be fucking performatively ass mad and stuff and be like, I remember when you were saying this. Well, it's great to meet you, Donnie. I hope that when you move back, it's gonna be nice for you too. I think you're gonna like the way we change it. And then he's like, all right, that's kind of great. God damn. FBI agent is gonna get a knock on his cubicle, and I guess what Tyler is up to on Monday. I wasn't trying to defend Maduro's decision to exploit the Orinoco River, by the way. I like the video. I just happen to have lived in rural Colombia around all these things, gold, coke, war, etc. Oh, no, based. I just can't quite understand exactly what your point was. Disculpa. Yeah, if you're telling me those specific videos are propaganda videos, then it is what it is. But I mean, we live with the same thing here in America. It's not as bad as Venezuela, obviously, in the worst aspects of it, but like I live in a rural area too, overall, and a lot of the people I end up having to stick up for are also people that just get like, poverty porn videos made about them at all times. I think Agent Zero is going to like this new video. Maybe. He has 800k subs and barely scrapes 500 concurrents, and his concurrent flex is massive every day. Like DGG turns in, you can tell when somebody posts his stream in DGG and then he goes up to like 12k for like, or 1200 for like a couple seconds and then just goes right back down to 500. When I was talking to him, and that's gotta be the saddest thing ever, he had 1200 people in his stream earlier when he was talking to the pedophile, and then he talks to me, he loses those people, and my boost goes up to 400. So we're like almost neck and neck. Like, dude, 17 years and you got 100 more concurrents than me? I've barely even been doing this for the last year. I'm fixing my fucking house. I'm finally able to do some of the work I need to be doing. That is not good. That's not good. And by the way, if you want to like air some grievances and stuff, the best place isn't to do a chat. Do it in Discord so I can fucking understand. People also help you formulate your argument. We have some Spanish speakers in there and stuff too. So if you're like, I don't know, I don't want to get booted, I'm not going to boot you for disagreeing with me. I only boot people for making dog shit arguments. So they just replaced the president of Venezuela with the vice president? Yes. The Delcy Rodriguez? Literally just looking at that name for like 2 hours and I can't remember. I just remember Delcy. But yeah, she was the vice president at the time. She did like 2 nicely like little like give him back, and then she just did a swear in, and like no one at the swear in seemed to give a fuck. So like, yeah, he's just dead now. He's not, but he's just dead. Like, he's gone. I think I'm the only person talking about Nicolas Maduro today. Like, that's gotta suck. Like, dude was the whole president of a whole country. He was dancing on Instagram, that whole thing, and now it's just like, what happened to him? Like, he's gone. Like he's dead, but he's not. He's just in New York. He's just hanging out. He's in the same, I think he's in the same prison as fucking Luigi Mangione. Oh hey, Luigi, I seen you on TV. Oh hey, Nicolas Maduro. Dude, like going to jail in the fucking rich cities, and everybody's like, it's like fucking Arkham. You realize the day that you're a fucking NPC, your face does not get drawn when you're in background scenes. What's happening? Fucking Nicolas Maduro's over there talking to Luigi Mangione. Sam Bankman-Fried tried to go up and talk to him, and they fucking mogged him. Sam Bankman-Fried walking around like the fucking penguin. Oh my god. Okay, I'm finished the video. I'm so glad socialism failed. Let's fucking go. I mean, if it was even really tried in the first place, you know what I mean? There's a lot of ways to try to enact socialism, quote unquote. It's just Chavez's version of it. It didn't make it. Socialism with this like pretense that you're going to close your country off from the world is just absurd. I mean, it's first off, it's fascism, but if we're going to pretend to call it socialism and not fascism, it's impossible. You can't cut yourself off from the world market, especially when you're one of these, like, we barely eked it out microscopic countries. It's like, okay, well, why are the other countries bullying me? Because they don't like you. You stink, and you're not good at articulating your points, and also you stole shit. You stole shit and you killed people that they liked. Yeah, well, we didn't like those people. Okay, but they did. Are you going to conquer them? Well, no, they're way too big. Okay, well, you have to learn how to play how to play ball with them. Well, we don't want to. That's why we did the fight. Okay, then they're going to cut you off, which is great because they're not going to come kill you or like keep doing a proxy word, but they're just going to cut you off from everybody. Well, that's not fair. No, it is. No, that was what was always going to happen. Do you have access to books where you're from? Well, yeah. I actually went to school in America. Oh, so you just didn't pay any fucking attention. God damn. Venezuela was an inside job. I don't think so. If that was the case, they probably had some people there, but like, no, Venezuela just got fucking rocked. They just suck. They suck at fighting. That's, sorry to say it. You know that it's bad because more Cubans died than Venezuelans. It's an inside job. It's hard to even call it an inside job when you have more Cuban military officers fighting than Venezuelans. How did you even do that? Like, what the fuck? That would be such a revelation, right? You know, like, what happened? Well, the president of America got kidnapped, right? Oh my God, that's nuts. Yeah. 20 Americans died during it. Well, that makes sense. And also, an additional 40 Germans. Wait, what? 40 Germans were killed. What? How? They were there? They were there. Helping. Not well, obviously. That's got to be the roughest. That's got to be the roughest part for Cuba is they're like, dude, we'll repel any invasion. And then they're like, what happened? Like, Maduro got kidnapped and they fucking smoked like 30 of our guys. I lent you 30 dudes and you got them killed? You have to put in another $1. It's call collect if you want to talk to me while I'm in prison in New York. Clink. You got 30 of my guys killed. God damn it. Is Trump turning America fascist, though? I don't know, turning America fascist. I think his immediate supporters are. I think America becomes fascist when America can't do anything about fascism anymore. So, I mean, it's on the way, but, like, I don't know. Is Mamdani bringing back civil discourse politics? I don't know. I don't follow Mamdani that closely. He's the mayor of New York City. I don't know if you guys know this, where I don't live. And so I kind of don't give a shit about whatever the fuck he's doing. I find it shocking that people in other countries living in ostensibly better places are just like, man, every day I wake up and I'm pissed at Zoran Mamdani. He's no communist. Okay. What the fuck are you talking about? Zoran Mamdani infuriates me. I hate Zoran Mamdani more than I hate anyone on earth. Why? Why do you hate him? I think he's going to destroy New York City. Where do you live? Helsinki. Okay. I was talking to my friends from Ahmedabad and also my good friend from New Delhi. And at least 3 or 4 guys I know that live in Vancouver. Okay, and they're all just pissed at Zoran Mamdani, furious with him. Why? Have you even been to New York? And I'll never go now. Okay, because he's a communist or not? I'm not going to get into what he is and isn't. I just hate the man. Okay. See if Bam Banana gets angry at the video dissing any socialist communist, brings out the tank. He's like crazy. They've got no sense of nuance. I don't know if there's much nuance needed in the video. I don't even think it's like a crazy take. It's really just like The ultimate point of the video is if you're mad about this shit, you might want to learn to fucking scrap, because that's the only thing you should be taking to heart. There's definitely, and it doesn't matter whether it's true or not. That's the other thing too. This is the point isn't to point out like what is or isn't happening in Venezuela. That doesn't matter. You clarify that. The truth of the matter doesn't matter at all. Doesn't. Never has. Doesn't matter to Maduro. Doesn't matter to Trump. It's what you can prove, right? And what you can sell. If I can find all that stuff out, and I know, then if Donald Trump figures out a way to get all that gold and those trillions and trillions of dollars of stuff that we need to make our little cell phones and shit, if he can go and get it and say that he did violence and got it, he wins. That's a big victory. That's the point of it. And if you're mad about that and you don't want that to happen, tough titty until you get enough boats to stop the boats that we have. That's the whole. It doesn't matter, and nothing else matters. You can talk about it and whine about it and piss foot about it and say like, well, you missed this little like iota of a fact. That doesn't matter. I'm telling you what he's going to do. If you think I'm the devil, I'm just telling you right now that I'm attuned with the devil. I know. I like, this is the most obvious path to take. Now he's old as shit and he might die, and he's also insane and might forget. But the other bad thing is that people that are going to be trying to carry on the Trump legacy after he dies, I think he's probably not going to try to run again. I think he's going to try to pass the torch on to JD Vance or a similar sycophant who will hold out for him. The bad thing then is going to be that they are going to use these Trumpist maneuvers in order to justify the new American empire style of governance underneath themselves. That's going to be what he passes down. This is his legacy, ultimately, is what I'm trying to kind of confer here, if he gets it, if he pops it off. And he doesn't have to do it by it succeeding. He has to do it by doing enough of it to sell the propaganda around it. And everyone that would be opposed to this for good reasons and bad can't do shit about it, because they just refuse to build up the ability to talk about shit like that. It's just, you got checkmated because you suck. What about the Iran situation? It's impossible to really give a statement on it. I think ultimately, hold on. Let me put a pin in that one, because there's the saddest Hutch fact I learned today is he's post glow up. He's deeply past glow up. I haven't been paying enough attention to Iran or really any other countries because I've been focused on this, and I still think I'm like, 10% out of 100 on what I need to really like deeply like talk about it. Most of this is reporting. So I'm taking what other people have said, making sure it jives together and doesn't like, there's no counterfactuals involved, and then presenting it alongside my ideas. It's explanatory journalism. Other people have done the reporting. I'm telling you what I have gathered and putting it together so that you can see if my example of what I'm explaining and then my think of what I think is going to happen afterwards works. It's explanatory journalism. I don't know what's happening. I can't confirm any of it. All this is what I have been given, and no one else can either. Like, it's very fucking hard. It would be difficult for people that live in Caracas to like go and double check all the stuff that I reported on in a timely manner, because it's just a whole country. A lot of that shit's hard to get to, just like it's hard to get to places here in America. You know what I mean? You want to go find out something that's going on in Sophia, West Virginia. I mean, you might be there and you can tell me about it, but if Sophia was like cut off electronically and you couldn't like really communicate in, you'd have to fucking go there to double check, and it's just a pain in the ass. The further away you are, it's like hard. And there's just a lot of facts. And most of it's really just trying to put together Donald Trump's motives. That's the point of it. It's a Donald Trump story, not a Venezuela story. Although it's about Venezuela, it's a Donald Trump story. At least the Hoshiists are celebrating that a fake socialist country ended. What is that? Hoxhaists. You must imagine the Hoshiist is happy. That looks like Chinese. I have that combination of letters is unpronounceable to me. I do not have the ability to pronounce that. Closing your country off from the world can't even be called socialist, to be honest. It's like folks hating building the international. Yeah, I mean, correct, I guess. One was accused of assassinating a healthcare CEO. The other was the socialist dictator of Venezuela. Together they fight crime. Wacky hijinks. We're getting the band back together. Autarky is the principle. Yes. Didn't work with Spain under Franco either. No, it hasn't worked with anybody. Autarky is the ultimate goal of fascism. I could have had this whole conversation with dipshit. Can you define what fascism is? I'm a fucking like mild expert in it as far as the fucking internet's concerned. Yes, I've read the entire fascist manifesto, and I've read the post papers that were published by Benito Mussolini when he went like, what if I just kind of took more from me? You can actually watch fascism evolve from basically a like Italian pride, Italian workers focused version of like a Marxism into cruel despotism, like in real time. Like you can feel it while they're writing the manual, and they go like, actually though, it's like if like every several paragraphs you just have that moment where Bilbo goes, "Why shouldn't I keep it?" Or Bilbo goes, "Why shouldn't I keep it?" You know. How does it feel to have gotten that video out before the possible conflict with Iran, like passing a fucking kidney stone? I still think there's a failed coup in Venezuela 6 years ago. It failed because the Mercs, former Green Berets doing it, were too busy posting on Instagram. Yeah, true. I think they weren't really backed by anybody either. The fact that like Venezuela looks so dog shit, they were like, me and some scrappy boys could get this taken. We could pop this off. It's fucking crazy. The millionaires of the Venezuelan security had a tummy ache, perhaps the most important night of their lives, but the Cubans got smoked sleeping in their barracks. I mean, funny to me. I don't know what to tell you. Sucks. Get fucking dunked on. We're all enemy nations here. Allow me to fucking chuff at something that never would have happened to me in the military. God. I'm sure if they were at fighting spirit, it would have gone different. You fucking woke up to just every fucking anti-aircraft platform in your entire city and fort just getting turned into cinders all at the same time. This couldn't be because the country that's fucking with us has $1 trillion defense budget and some of the most high-tech military equipment on earth. This is because the Cubans weren't ready. Yeah, I would have fucking left, unironically. I bet they probably had some desertions. It's always what happens. Yeah, man, all that gold will make big tech happy. We're trying to build up massive data center infrastructure. It's that and coltan. The coltan's extremely important for space age tech creation, whatever. Do you think he's going to strike Iran this weekend? I don't know. I have no idea. Eventually, yes. I think. I would be shocked. Now's the perfect time. They're probably getting ready to rock and roll. I don't know what the fuck Iran thinks they're going to do about it. They're probably going to be way more ready for it, obviously, than Venezuela, because it's the era of like, oh, they're parking off the fucking coast. If we pull up on your block, we're fucking touch that heater. Kind of shit, you know what I mean? I don't know what the fuck Iran could do about it. At all. Everyone keeps talking about they're like desperate. People are like, it's desperate for an American boots on the ground invasion. But like, I don't think it's going to go that way. I think it's going to be the same thing. The best bet is for him to like be missing. You know what I mean? And like to scooch out of a fucking hit. But they'll probably sit there and watch and wait. The actual Absolute Resolve, I didn't have time to put this in the thing. Absolute Resolve was 3 months, I think. 3 months in the making. From that's how long it actually. The mission was actually 3 months long. The D-Day moment at nighttime was like whatever, it's a couple hours. But they built an entire replica of his presidential palace. They figured out where he's going to be, Maduro, and they got it down to fucking science. The whole thing figured out until once they were ready after several months, then they did it. And it's not going to be sloppy. That's the thing that's why people in the military still hate George Bush to this day. And even to a lesser extent, Obama. Obama was bad about point and shoot stuff too. Not as bad as obviously George Bush was, but George Bush was like hit it now, hit it hard, right? Which is like not what you do in the modern military. You don't hit it now and hit it hard. That's what you do when you're ready, right? You plan it out. You fucking put all the pieces on the table and you run every possible scenario 16, 17 times until you're fucking ready. So that when you actually go in there and do it, you're not thinking. I'm already shooting down a hallway I know a guy's going to be in because I've shot that guy in that hallway in my fucking dreams for the last 2 months because I've been shooting that guy in a shoot range every fucking day for 3 months. I'm going to hit this thing, I'm going to pivot, I'm going to turn, and I'm going to fucking clip this guy in the fucking neck. What? Pop. There you go, you're done. Sorry, man. I don't know if you know this, but you died in a fucking shoot room 3 months ago. And you're getting it down. Like, that's the whole thing. These guys are gone. They're getting terminated. It's fine. They're combatants. You woke up in the morning, you put a fucking rifle on. Sorry, homie. What the fuck? You might want to fucking be awake on post. What do you think that gun was for? And that's pretty much it. Like, that's what military stuff is. And it's how every military that's worth its salt does it. If your military doesn't do it that way, you're going to lose. You're going to be reduced to the fucking indignity of begging for scraps and setting bombs on fucking roadsides like you ain't got nothing going on. Tyler's eyes looking remarkably green today. Good video essay too. Thank you. People like JD Vance. He's like a skinwalking, doing their worst to fit in. People like everybody that you don't like. It's just like the internet. No one will ever actually be universally hated. Thelis Vasis Patron. Big Tech is a Bible. They aren't going to get rich on Venezuelan gold, but they might break even when the government bails them out. Is a bubble. Big Tech might not even get the gold. I mean, it's like you need it. You know what I mean? Hoxha, he was the leader of Albania. Oh, okay, cool. Based. Tyler, it's Albanian Communism by Enver Hoxha. Am I saying that right? Hoxha? You can't know everything. So are foreign companies actually going to go into Venezuela, or will state assets be sold to a new Venezuelan elite that will finally start a Western-friendly business? I have no idea. If I had to guess, the best way, in my opinion, to do it, given the little I know about Venezuela, is its security forces need to be built up tippity tip top. Because its security infrastructure is dog shit. They're riddled with terrorists and gangs. Like, riddled. So you're going to have a massive buildup from the cities that you have control over in a way of like they're good. I would say probably take like 6 or 7 years to get off the ground totally, but it would come in big bumps and starts, and it'll start in the cities and towns where like they're going to go here. We're going to start up 1 mine or 2 mines. And then those are going to be protected through like bribery or whatever. And it's going to be nasty and scummy. And everyone's going to be like, this is what we have to do. And then you're going to fucking see like, once they kind of get a feel for it feeling around, it's just going to be pop, 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 pop. And leaders of those little gangs out there are going to start just fucking vanishing overnight, or all of a sudden finding themselves in a uniform with their teeth brushed and their ass cleaned. Going, oh, I guess I'm actually really about law and order now. Yeah, you are, aren't you? Yes, I am. You know, but it's going to be like pulses like this, which is good building strategy. Push in, build, wait. It always feels like nothing's happening, but something is. You know, you're digging in, cleaning up. Anti-corruption measures are going to have to go off like crazy, or conversely, they're just going to leave it corrupt. They could do that too. And then Venezuela is going to go crazy south, and just turn into a fucking like literal libertarian paradise. Just a series of fiefdoms that aren't allowed to sell to anyone but us, or you get killed. That also could happen. I don't want to consider that possibility because that's really bad. There's nothing I can do about it, so I hope good things happen. Anti-revisionist Marxist Leninists basically closed his country off, condemned any nation that took support from the Soviet Union after Stalin's rule ended, and Khrushchev did the secret speech. Albania, along with the Chinese, make up 30% of the world's population. If I remember correctly, Hoja is pronounced like Hoja. Hajj isn't Hajj. Haja. Okay. God, one of my favorite parts of the hot thing, not to drag it back, was you describing fascism and saying, "Oh, you've never heard this before." I don't think he has. I don't think he knew that that fascism comes from Italy. I knew I'm fucking eating his soup, whatever. I don't know. When I'm just like, so the symbol of fascism is best represented as a operative government by the symbol of fascism, which is a state. And he just like, no, we gotta talk about something else. Anything else? Okay. Oh my God. Their main thing is ballistic missiles and drones. During the dust of last year, the U.S. spent an appreciable amount of their missile interceptor stockpile protecting Israel. It's always the old stuff goes first. The $1 trillion machine can't be defeated, guys. I mean, sure. Hojer. I will now permit people to move the conversation in a different. That's not for me. I'll permit people to move the conversation in a different direction. I think we got everything said about the video. I think I just want to hit it with like a final idea. Really, and this is the only thing that you need to take away from it as a person that's online. Cut it out with the shit talking and do something that's do something. Price of all the yapping's not worth the price of gunpowder. The price of a pound of gunpowder is the only thing that you need to take away from it. Because I don't care. It's all hopes and dreams. I don't give a fuck about some random ding dongs online. Most of the time, who've never even held a gun, much less shot one at somebody, and wouldn't do that in the first place. Not that it's like a character flaw or anything, but it's just a hard thing to do. It's a difficult thing to do, right? And you got to just cut it out with I'm hoping and I'm praying for a fucking savior. I have to hope and I have to pray that America's not actually like going to do this thing that we just literally saw them do again with just no opposition. I need to hope and I need to pray that there was actually some secret issue that means that like this isn't real, because it's just pathetic. I mean, I think that's maybe what it is. You shouldn't do it because it's pathetic, and it disgusts me, and it's hard to build a coalition with somebody who their entire contribution to resistance against fascism is doing little piss baby rain dances with a full diaper. Like, it's just shut the fuck up. You're disgusting. Cut it out. I've got to hope and I've got to pray that this guy's not going to do the thing that he said he's going to do, that he can do, that he wants to do, that he's capable of doing, and that I can't and refuse to do a single thing to fucking stop. Like, I'm just done with it. I'm done with it as a conversation point. I'm done with pretending that satire is the way to defeat fascism. You know what I mean? Like, I can't take it. For 25 fucking years listening to people like half repeat a fucking Jon Stewart line and be like, I don't know if you know this, but he's fat and he's stupid. Make America Trump again. Like, I don't know, man. Why don't you fucking make a 250 on the rifle range, okay? Then I'll give a fuck what you have to say about violence happening or not happening. Hammer drill. I think they're using the impact to attach the lower anchor for our microwave. I'm sleepy. Thanks, Tyler, for the video. Thank you. You gonna talk with Pisco at any point? I mean, maybe. I'm not scheduled. This is the end of the week. I just don't even want to think about all of the work I have to do next week, which is what all this is. I know all of them are like married and they have like little their chats or children that they have with each other, and they have divorces and stuff. But I treat this as a job, and I don't even want to think about having to fucking get another fucking worm on the hook. I heard Honduras is basically offering their territory to create autonomous regions for billionaires if the Trump-backed right wing won the recent election and wonder if Venezuela follow suit. Maybe. I don't know. That's what I'm saying. That's the limit. I don't know. It took me a lot of work to know what I know about Venezuela, which was nothing before this, and then what you've seen on video now. That's everything I know about Venezuela, basically. With a few grab bags that are either unconfirmable or just irrelevant. You know what I'm saying? So like I hesitate to make predictions. I hope good things happen. I can tell you about America all the time. I can tell you about America till the end of the fucking cows come home, but all the rest of this stuff, I don't know. Starship Troopers video callback, absolutely. That's the funniest statement I've ever heard. How is PF Young a crypto fascist? He seems to not be one. Is that clever or not? Did you spell his name wrong on purpose or are you using speech to text? It's a Jung. He does a lot of signaling. He presents himself. Anybody that presents himself as the reasonable bridge between two ideas should never be trusted as such because they're more than likely not. He presents himself as a reasonable bridge between liberalism and hyper-conservatism, and always ends up going like, well, I just feel like the hyper-conservatism is right. He's what you call like an initiator, an evangelist, not an evangelist, a missionary. Where your evangelists are going to be somebody like, Nick Fuentes or something, who's really just like speaking the good word of like fascism and racism and whatnot. Your missionary is going to be somebody like P.F. Young, right? Missionaries don't ever work like missionaries work in your mind. You know what I mean? They work like fucking Mormons and stuff, or even worse, like, Jehovah's Witnesses, where they're like, well, I know I'm not going to convince you. People don't get convinced. I just want you to know, like, this is a good night. Well, tell me about what you do, and then I'll tell you about what we do. And it's like, well, I don't know if that's going to work, but what I have done is works. It's like that kind of thing. So he's like a missionary for fascism. It is what it is. If he's not intentionally doing that, then he's in a worse situation because, like, wow. And even if it's a thing where it's like, oh, it's all a bit. Well, if the bit ends up with the results that create thing X, then thing X is what the bit is anyway. What made you decide to make a Hutch video? My desire to cause harm. I can't find a word that comes after that. Hutch represents a return to the worst possible versions of liberalism, and he is in himself an actual like anti-radicalization. He is the person that is going to get people to vote less, ultimately. People that would listen to Hutch will know less about politics. They'll vote less. Their ideas about politics will be stupider, and ultimately they will get depressed because nothing good happens, and they will become fascist. Because fascism is always born out of desperation. That's just where it goes. You're like, oh, you get big sad and black-pilled. Ever notice that? He's black-pilled. If I ever said that, no, I'm never black-pilled. I'm the happiest person on earth. I'm the one that brings you bad news, and I'm never completely destroyed by it. I'm lightly irritated, but I have a way to get past it. You know why? Because I'm not a fucking fascist, ultimately, and I don't want anyone to engage in it. He is, Vosh is, Hassan is. That's the whole point. Their whole thing is, I have one idea, and if it doesn't work, we've either got to give up or we've got to kill everybody that's against the idea. Okay, yeah. It's got steps. Okay, but your idea of what is going to happen after doesn't defeat the fact that you're a fascist now. You've got to fucking annihilate everybody. I don't. I'm just going to convince them. If you can't convince everybody, then you don't get to have what you want. Tyler's house is my favorite side character in this show. It's true. Speaking of housework, the Army bribed me with a new AC unit to stay in 3 more years. By new AC, I mean they offered me a bonus that'll cover the cost. I'd take it. Then again, it's the Army, so you're going to take it, pay for the AC, and then fucking transfer you somewhere where you have to live in a house with no AC. What would you say is the best way to deal with fascism in this country that we can do? Fucking put on a smiling face. That you will do. How about that? Not just shut up with the can do. No more can do's from chatters. How about things that you will do? I'm gonna tell you this right now. Start and end every day with a fucking positive disposition. Find a win and win. That's your first thing. Because so many of you guys are fucking losers. Like, with all due respect, you just suck. I don't know what it is, but you just refuse to. You refuse to embrace success or ever look on the bright side of things. And so many people just want to be reaffirmed into their sad state of affairs. They're really like, even when you get that question where it's like, what can we do? What you're trying to tell me is really what a lot of people are asking. It might not be you, chatter, but a lot of people are asking, like, what can you give me something that I can give up on before I even start? Can you tell me to do something to succeed that seems like just slightly out of reach for me, so that when it fails, I'll feel more justified in hating myself in life? Even better, could you just say, I don't know what there is that we can do. Hope that socialism goes away tomorrow or something. You know? I guess now we have to pray. The first thing that you can do is start building yourself up. Apply your mask, okay? Go work out. Get a fucking job. Learn a trade. Get a hobby. Become the kind of person that people even want to listen to. No one's out there like, oh, these are the kind of things that you can say to somebody and convince them. Like, how many of you guys are convincing? You wouldn't be talking to me, asking me for questions if you knew the fucking answers. None of you are going out and convincing anybody, right? Go and start engaging in life and make yourself happy and fulfilled as best you can with the circumstances, and start trying to go to bed and wake up with a positive disposition on life. Because nobody wants to talk to the fucking sad communist with no skills. No one wants to talk to some fucking loser who's waiting for the world to get fixed for them. That's like, hey man, can you run a fucking circular saw? Do you know how to rake leaves into a whole pile and then put them into a bag? Like, do you know how to use the rake as a big hand? No. Do you know how to fucking run a diesel engine? No. Do you know how to change your own oil? No. Do you know how to take apart and put back together a PC? Yes. Do you actually? No. Over and over and over again. Start building yourself up to the kind of person that other people want to listen to. If you want to talk about politics and that kind of shit, you got to be worth listening to. You got to have something to bring to the table other than like your idea that hasn't actually been put into test, hasn't actually been tested, and like a few lies that you heard from some rich guy. Like, if you would just watch this video from this millionaire that lives in California, like, there ain't nobody going to do that. You want to fucking succeed. You want things to be better for the people around you. Ask them what they need to have their lives be better, and then go and put yourself in a position where you can fulfill those needs. That's politics. If it's like, man, how do I make the governor or the president of the United States stop having been the president? Well, there's the one way, and it's a crime, and it doesn't even work anyway most of the time. Shout out Tommy Crooks. Bye. And that's a short-term solution for morons, right? You don't need to worry about any of that stuff. Start small. It should be really like, what can I do to make my life better is what you're asking. Okay? And it's put yourself in a position where you like waking up in the morning. Change aspects of your life that are shitty. Cut out all of the wasted hours of playing fucking Persona 3 for the 800th time. Stop trying to chase the dragon of your childhood. Stop getting mad in comment sections. Like, and go and get a hobby, man. It's super easy. Go to the fucking library and go to the hobby section and pick out a book and keep picking out books until you find something that fucking clicks with you. Because trust me, you can have a hobby. I'm just not a person for hobbies. Yes, you are. You actually are a fly fisherman. You didn't even know that. You don't even think it's possible, but actually you're into fly fishing like crazy. Now you're going to learn how to tie ropes, and you're going to learn how to fucking do this and that. You're going to start hiking. You're going to walk out to the water and stand out in the water for 10 hours at a time, flicking the... And that's what you need, right? You got to go build up stuff about yourself. That's the biggest issue. God damn. It's called a trash can, not a trash can. Not true. Hope and joy pilled. Yes. Hey Tyler, just finished the vid. Great stuff. Didn't disappoint. Thank you. Glad you liked it. I mean this gently, but you sound like Alex Jones, but less believable. And that is humorous. No, humorous is a bone in the leg. That's the vibe when he's feeling good, and you should tune in. Okay. Absolutely not. How do you reconcile your passion for politics and your desire to be a horror filmmaker? If I'm understanding correctly, they're currently conflicting somewhat. Not really. The only thing conflicting with my ability to make a horror film is the lack of time and the fucking few promised projects I have to catch up on. I would never be able to be a horror filmmaker without making money doing this stuff. So, you got the camera right there. I built it with the politics. So my politics talking and blending those things together is getting me closer, right? And it's arts, culture, and politics. I talk about all three. So it's not just like I'm a, political fixer every goddamn day when I wake up. Personal growth, but how will my hug box respond to me working on my mental health? Probably poorly, honestly, with a lot of people. They hate it when you grow. Cooked by a great name. Oh, it's the same guy that's been fucking reply guying all day. Way too much fucking typing. A lot of saying nothing. Yeah, when's the game coming out? Man, I overpromised on that. Oh, it's so much fucking work. And they have to hire people to do it. I feel like everyone always offers, I can help. I don't accept help for free. I either got to pay for it or not. I just have to reduce my overall desires and then start rebuilding again. Right now, I've got to finish making a nice 1 of 10. Hopefully, it gets big. It's always funny to click on my most recent videos and then the one is. Oh, hey. Yeah. Girl, you almost walked right on camera. Actually, I'm in a good place to probably start wrapping it up. Okay. Hi, Bug. Okay, my wife's off work anyway, so yeah, I might as well. I've been talking about the video, so I'm pretty much good. Yeah, not much else to say. Thanks everybody for watching it, tuning in, hanging out. Thanks everybody for hitting me with a dono. Next week, returning to like normal stuff, normalcy, to a degree. Excited. No construction, no sickness, no Venezuela's idiot video, no Vuvuzela video haunting me like a demon, trying to get me to put it out. I'm tired of shit. Join the Discord to continue these conversations. Discord's the best place to get a hold of me. Okay. Discord's the best place to hang out. I gotta go to bed. I'm gone. Enjoy the video. Share it, please. Share it everywhere. Share it. You guys have been watching Westside Tyler. I have been Westside Tyler Bell. I'll see you next week. And until next time, as always, stay safe out there.